We are live. Hello, everybody.
You ain't live on YouTube yet.
I know, but it's still gonna. I am on D Live.
It is now on YouTube.
Yes, I just got the notification.
Oh no.
What? What did you do?
I lost in my chat.
Oh no. Hello, everybody. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Little Red. Okay, got the chat up.
I got mine.
You got yours? What's going on, everybody? Oh, let me send out my tweets.
Eddie, what did you do? I don't know, Jim. I would do something.
Hey, Jim. Hey,
No.
Nubs. How you guys doing this morning? Well, this afternoon.
But for us, it's morning.
Yes. Okay, I'm here. You can put the red carpet away once I got my seats. Hey, Ryan.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Andy. How's everybody doing?
Tired.
Yes, I know you're tired. Hey, Circle.
We're circle.
Oh, goodness, trouble's here. Well, that could mean anybody, Nubs. Well, who you were referring to there?
You got all this new stuff added. Stream elements in Wisebot
Where is that coming up?
on Restream chat.
Hold on one sec. I'm not seeing it.
Shadows of the Moon 1 is now live streaming. No game. What if Wednesdays is where we discuss UFOs, cryptids, and conspiracy theories. And Wizbot says live online under the game NA, the uptime begin.
Okay.
Double points!
God bless America, Nicole.
Haha, they can get me.
Lordy. Well, that's good, Jim. I'm glad you finally made it to work. Poor Jim's been stuck at home.
Oh, yeah, that just sucks, doesn't it?
I know. I've been wanting to see that. Actually, I was going to pull it up while I was working tonight, Ryan. I definitely want to see that. I've seen all the fan art that you've been sharing. That's pretty freaking cool. Bless you. Holy hell. That got me too. That might have been double points. Bless you, baby.
Thank you. That one kind of snuck up on me.
It was scary out here trying to make it out in the blizzard. Yeah, definitely. That shit's no joke. You really do, Ryan. I mean, some of that fan art, I'll have to show you, honey. It's pretty cool.
I think I've seen it on...
Oh, Facebook. Yeah, you have. That's right. I forget.
Nicole's double sneeze.
Yeah, double snooze.
Today's only a single so far.
I have a psychedelic party in the moonlight. Strip naked to dance. Ryan films it. That's what it was. It's Andy out there dancing. And everybody thinks it's Goatman. That's too funny. You guys are crazy. Oh, sorry I didn't go live yesterday. I've got so much on my plate right now. I am updating the store. I am I just added new digital products to the store. A couple of them. Haven't gotten them all done. Taking a course. Getting my courses all ready to go up in the store. So it's been crazy. And yesterday I was in that mindset. I was going to go live at first. I woke up late, first of all. And then...
No, you didn't.
I didn't? I thought I did.
No,
I thought I
woke up about 8:45.
Well, that's about the same time I wake up every day. But I was tired. I know that. That's why I thought I woke up late, because I was tired. But and I was just in that mindset of getting the courses ready and everything like that. And I'm just like, I didn't want to break that concentration. So I apologize to everybody. How often you sneeze like that? Would it count?
He's talking about wiping my burgers off the camera.
Right. I know, right? Andy, just be grateful it weren't the full moon, Ryan. I get hungry at night around that period. Hello, Earth aliens. How are you? Welcome, welcome.
Aliens.
And
No, he's hungry all the time.
Right? Hey, Patrick.
What's up, Patrick?
How you doing, hon? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Dakota. How you doing?
Thanks, Andy. What's up, Dakota?
Yes. Eddie goes running around naked on the weekends.
No, I'm Bigfoot during the week.
Yes.
And Andy's only Bigfoot on the weekends.
Oh, okay. I got it backwards then.
Yes, learn to read.
So I'm trying. I have coffee mouth. So I'm like trying to get the saliva to work up here.
Want a beer?
No. Eddie uses one of those silver bullets on me at the weekend, only able to sit at the PC again. You guys are too funny. Oh my God.
Loves wants to know, Nicole, is Andy pregnant?
Yeah. Nicole, is there something where you're not telling us?
Yeah, talking about little pitter patter of feet.
4 feet at that.
That little bats are going to shed a lot.
Hey, Rain Grace, how are you?
What's up, Grace?
Welcome, welcome. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? You want water for your water?
Oh, God. No, Adrian!
No, I'm not doing that. Oh, Nicole said, yep, triplets.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, hopefully they ain't going to be conjoined.
Right? So I wonder, do the chupacabra and goatman dislike one another, or does goatman like the goat sucker? Right? But
what the fuck?
yeah, see? Nice timing. Nicole. I turned it down because of double points. I don't like that. And then I can't hear it.
Freaky Geek!
Hey, Freaky Geek. Good morning. Now I got to test it. Make sure. Okay.
Freaky Geek wants to know if we're doing yesterday's live today.
No. No. Since Nicole had the operation, the strap take them off. Damn it, Andy. It wouldn't surprise me now it's between her and Eddie. I get some serious butt hurt in my life. Oh, you poor, poor thing, Andy. You poor, poor thing. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. Oh, yay. Are we getting it all out?
I think they're just getting started.
I know. I'm scared. Oh, man. Look at Freaky Geek. Oh, my God. All of you guys. I'll just go down the line. And that one was delayed.
It'd be like the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Sounds like Andy was getting it all in. Especially if he's pregnant with triplets.
Hello, Freaky Geek. I'm just having fun. Andy's. Oh, Lord. I thought you was new. I was naughty. I thought you knew I was naughty. No, in Eddie's stream, in Chaos's stream. Oh, thank you for the ice cream, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Actually, in my stream, Ricky's one of the fucking cleanest people in there.
Well, yeah, that is true. That is true. And Ron, if you're here, you are still the stream boss. That's why I put it up on the thing. Ryan's out of luck. My Ryan, my son Ryan, is out of luck.
Well, until he finds out.
Well, yeah, that's true. I'm not even reading Andy's anymore out loud. I'm just not doing it.
We do not run a porn channel.
Sorry, guys. I know.
God, what the conservatives did to Dr. Seuss, can you imagine what they do to your channel?
Holy hell. I tell you. All right. Good Wednesday morning to you. Well, it's Wednesday for us. How is everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. Just a reminder, if you're watching on Facebook, please leave a comment. Please grant Restream permission to see your name. The link is up there in the description. Hello to all my people listening to the craziness over on my podcast. As always, we invite you to come on over to YouTube during the live streams, which are always 10 a.m. Alaskan Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's so rude, Andy. Chicken fried steak, extra banana milk.
Hey, you got your pizza sitting out there.
Oh, yeah, I know.
All right, then shut up.
Thank you so much.
Go quick because I got my lasagna sitting out there too.
Oh goodness. To all my podcasters, thank you so much for supporting us, and we really appreciate it. We really do. And all to you guys, we really appreciate each and every one of you.
Without you, this wouldn't be possible.
Exactly. So on today's show, we're going to try and dive into what we were talking about last week, which is, okay, thank you, Patrick, 3:30 p.m. Newfoundland time, which is the legend of the Black Shuck. Then we're talking about elves, little people, Icelandic elves. Then we're going to talk about the Bridgewater Triangle, aliens, and puckwudgies. And then we're going to talk about UFOs and the mysterious happenings in Transylvania. Is it a portal to the different dimension? And as always, don't forget, as I roll credits, get over to D-Live and hype up that chat to get your lemons. I got to find a soundbite that says lemons. I don't know if that's going to be hard or easy to do, but...
I know Freaky, and I've said something to her about it, and Freaky says, hey, not fair, you never did continue what I can't recall from several Fridays ago.
I know, and it makes me so mad. I can't remember what the hell we were talking about see, this is the lie that I tell myself. Don't write it down, you'll remember it. This is what happened. The Black Shuck.
Matters.
Thank you, Nicole, for the lemon.
There is the lemon.
The lemons. Andy can make your lemon sound mistake. I know, right? I should. Yeah.
No, Chuck's not black. Chuck's white. I work with him.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
You dude looks like Moses, for Christ's sakes.
Here you guys go. Thank you, Patrick,
Thank
for
you,
the
Patrick.
the ice creams. Or if you really want to get technical, it's not going to let me copy that word. It says, no, that's too evil. There you go. There's the technical. I can't believe Missy recorded Eddie snarting. Thank God he didn't backfire at the same time. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, I tell you. So, all right. These are stories of black dogs that have been told in Britain since the Vikings brought over tales of Odin and his hounds when they invaded in 793 AD. Unfortunately, most tales have not been written down in the formal manner, but have been passed down through the generations with stories twisted and embellished. Tales of spectral hounds, both sinister and reassuring, terrifying or protective. He can appear in a flash of lightning or with a blood-curdling howl, or he creeps up beside you before you even realize he's there, as his paws make no sound. Most agree that the hound is large, the size of a calf with a shaggy coat, and the eyes that burn with hellfire. Red or green have been reported.
Hello, Rain.
Hey, Rain, how are you? There is also those that tell of one-eyed shuck, or even more extreme, a headless shuck, or strangely, the head of a monkey or the face of a man. The term black shuck can now include all and any dog-type creatures, sometimes not black, sometimes not dogs. So let's take a look closer at the black shuck, the demon dog of East Anglia, also known by the names of Old Shuck, Old Shock, Old Scarf, or just plain Chuck. Hey, Gillian, how are you?
Hi, Gillian.
So let me go ahead and share this. Maybe. Thank you for the ice cream, Patrick.
I'm not going to leave my lasagna.
Right?
We wanted an ice cream.
The black part is self-explanatory. Shuck is either derived from the Old English word of demon or fiend. It's spelled S-C-U-C-C-A. Even without hearing the stories, we have an idea of what to expect, but some of the stories are still surprising. Now, I remember, I don't know where my notes went for this, but what's weird is when we're talking about this, they're talking about like a hellhound type thing, right? Where we would call hellhounds. But to us, it's like the dog man in that, or werewolf. So I don't know where that, comes into play, but we'll see what story says. The first question I want to consider is, what does it mean if you see a black shuck? Both Norfolk and Cambridgeshire agree that he is a portent of death, either yours or someone you know. In Cambridgeshire, it's customary to look away, as his look itself can bring death, and not just a warning. In Suffolk, he is generally thought to be harmless unless provoked. Although what people of Bungay and Blythburgh have said about that, you will find out shortly. In Essex, he's still associated with graveyards and gallows, thus giving him the title of the demon dog. But he is seen as more of a guardian or protector. All other countries agree that Shuck has strong ties with graveyards, cemeteries, and lonely country roads. One reason for this may be the old Christian tradition of burying a live dog under the cornerstone of a new church. That's nice. I've never heard of that. Have you? No? So to act as a spirit guardian for the building or graveyard, lore says that the first body to be interred in the church will become the spirit guardian, And not wanting to trap a human in purgatory, they chose a dog for the fierce loyalty they show in life. That's another picture of him. You can see he's on weather vanes as well. One of the earliest accounts to be written down, including demon dogs, was recorded in the Peterborough Chronicle in 1127. It states that for 9 weeks leading up to Easter, the wild hunt would pass by Peterborough Abbey, through the monastery, Deer Park, and continue to 15 miles to Stamford, both seen and heard by locals and monks alike. The blast of horns would warn of the nighttime approach. 20 to 30 huge, terrifying men riding back black horses and he-goats, accompanied by hounds, jet black with eyes like saucers. The wild hunt is a widespread European legend, with the leader of the hunter changing from country to country. In England, the hunt can be led by Woden, King Arthur, Herne the Hunter, or Hereward the Wake, to name a few. Some would argue that these are all characters who have played great roles in the country's history, but the new power that went... Let's try that again. But the new powers that be, for want of better phrasing, would like to see them retire to myths. To see the hunt was to be risked being dragged away to the underworld, to have your soul stolen, to join the hunt. Or more important, our story, a portent death, much like the shuck. East Anglia, I don't know if it's Anglia. Well, anyway, is made up of Norfolk, Suffolk, Cambridgeshire, and Essex. And I'm going to start with one of the most famous black shuck stories. South of Norwich, across the county border, is Suffolk. And it's a picturesque town of Bungay and Bridgewater. And here in 1577, that's where our story takes place. On Sunday, the 4th of August, a terrible electric storm gripped the area. Hailstones and ball lightning fell upon the townsfolk. As terrified as this ungodly storm, they made their way to the parish church to seek shelter and reassurance. In St. Mary's Church, another St. Mary's Church, that's your first mistake. With a crash of thunder and lightning, a demonic hound burst through the door. He ran the length of the church through its congregation with unnatural speed and strength. Viciously, he snapped and mauled, and in another flash, he was gone. Here the hound left parishioners dead and dying. 2 bodies are said to have been found kneeling in prayer, their necks broken at odd angles. The conditions of the other body is said to have been shriveled like an old leather purse. In Blythesburg, it is written by Abraham Fleming that the almighty crash and flash of the lightning, the doors of the Church of the Holy Trinity were thrown open as the storm hit in full force. In the same instant, struck by lightning, the church steeple collapsed in on itself. As the dust settled, standing in the doorway was a demonic hound, bigger than it had the rights to be, eyes ablaze. The hound ran through the terrified congregation, wreaking havoc, killing a man and a boy, and burning the hand of another before it made its exit and disappeared into the storm. The towns were left in a state of horror, with their lives ever changed. Whatever happened that day, be it demonic visitation or a rabid dog, terrified by a storm, it was a story that the town would never forget. Bungay now includes the black dog in their coat of arms, and the local football teams are called the Black Dogs. Pretty crazy, huh?
Well, how much of a freaking folklore is it? You're naming everything after a black dog and shit.
Right. Andy said, those places are only 45 minutes from me by car. Didn't know I roamed so far on a full moon. Right? To me, that's crazy, though.
That weather vane almost looks like the dog was stabbed.
Right?
Like it tried to jump over it and didn't make it.
Right.
Now that just looks like a cat on drugs.
Right. Why has the hound got a horn, or did the artist put...
All right, Andy.
Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine being I mean, these obviously, like with these legends and lore.
I mean, it's a legit question, though.
Right, yeah.
No, it might about the horn.
And he didn't know he wandered that far. I guess he forgot when he stole those balloons from the kids in the zoo. Andy, I seen you out my window yesterday, and you don't look good at a tongue.
Oh my God. Nubs, you, everything looks good in the phone.
I know. If only you turned into a turtle.
Andy, that was supposed to be our own fucking secret there, pal. I'm throwing away the edible in these now.
Oh, that's funny. You guys are nuts. All right, another one not far from Bungay on the Norfolk coast is Girlston. And here we have a far more recent sighting. On the 19th of April, 1972, Graham Grant was coming to the end of his night shift when he saw something that drew his attention. About a quarter mile north of the lookout, he saw a large hound-type dog. But what made him keep watching was the fact that the dog would run and then stop if it was looking for something, and then run again. And then as he watched, it vanished. What makes that story noteworthy is the beach had recently been raked flat, so there was nowhere for this dog to go. And that Mr. Grant wasn't local. He had just moved to the area, and he wasn't aware of the legend of the black shuck until his work colleagues told him about it after the sighting. His story was also featured in the local newspaper. This report bears striking resemblance to two black shuck origin stories that told on the North Norfolk coast. The first is a tale of two fishermen, one Danish, one Saxon, who, while out fishing with their dog, got into trouble and drowned. The Danish man was washed up on the Beeston and the Saxon on the Overstrand. Each were buried at the local church, but the dog who survived was unable to tell which was the grave of his master. So it's said that the local hound now roams between the two, searching for the master he was unable to save. He has been seen so many times in Overstrand that they named a lane after him. It's also local lore that he leaves charring behind him in the smell of brimstone.
That's not good.
That's the one-eyed black shuck.
I'm just saying, that's not good.
That's not good. You don't like that?
No, if he was leaving a smell of brimstone and shit behind him.
Right. The second story is from Salt House. In the 1970s, Walter H. Barrett wrote that in 1910, he was passing through Salt House and decided to have a drink on the Dun Cow Pub. What a name, Dun Cow Pub. It was here he saw a man sitting by the window, and waiting to sit for a while himself, he bought the man a drink. The man was Sam Rudd, a local fisherman, and he told Barrett a story. He had been digging bait, as usual, but was getting dark and the tide was coming in, so he started his 4-mile walk home. Having reached the beach road, he climbed over the single bank and began to walk towards the village. It was at this point that a heavy sea mist rolled in, and soon all was darkness. I then heard a dog howl, some distance behind me, said Sam. It was loud. It drowned out the roar of the sea pounding on the shingle bank. Apparently that was the name of the bank. I don't know. Sam then explained that he kicked off his high thigh boots and ran for it.
His high heel boots?
No, his high thigh. Smart ass. But the faster he went, the closer the howl sounded. When he reached his home and had bolted the door, his father questioned him about his boots, but they were soon more concerned by the dog that was now howling outside their home. His father carried his gun upstairs and loaded it with a double charge of gunpowder. He took aim at the dog and fired. His father was adamant that he had hit the dog, but it had no effect, and the dog continued howling. But the next morning, there was no sign of the dog. Sam simply finished his drink, finished his story, thanked Barrett, and left. Barrett was intrigued by Sam's story so much that he spoke to the local rector, who told him it was nothing but nonsense. It was a cover story for local smugglers. This only spurred Barrett on to find out more. So he spoke to another local fisherman named Pynchon. Pynchon insisted that he should ignore the reverend, that he wasn't local and he didn't understand the local ways. Pynchon then offered him the true story of the black shuck. The night of the 28th of January in 1709 was stormy, and the waters of North Norfolk coast were unforgiving. 20-foot-high waves tore at the beaches and the wind howled. The sea threatened to overrun the raised shingle bank that protected Salthouse from the ravages of the sea. That night, there was much anticipated shipwreck. A brig heading back to Yorkshire from London, laden with fruit, spice, and other foodstuffs.
I gotta turn the heater on.
Okay. The captain and crew tried in vain to control the ship, but it finally ran aground at Salthouse and was torn apart by the battering storms. The crew and captain abandoned ship and were taken by the sea. There were no survivors. The next morning, the storm had moved on, and the village came out to salvage what they could. They found the crew washed up on the beach, and it was noted that the captain still gripped firmly to the collar of his faithful wolfhound pet, and the dog's jaws were clamped tightly to the captain's reefer jacket. The captain's body was taken to Salthouse Church and buried in an unmarked grave. The dog, however, they decided to just throw in a pit and bury on the beach. The locals would soon regret this decision. It didn't take long for people started seeing a very large dog sniffing about and howling, as if it lost something and was searching. As time passed, the spectral hound became more and more terrifying. Some say through grief and frustration. Now big as a calf, his eyes glowing red, his coat matted and shaggy, still searching for his master. They must have, freaky. Now we travel inland. Our story comes from the wonderfully named Cambridgeshire village of Great Snoring. You're funny, asshole. And sightings, not of the black shuck, but of the white shuck. In the late 1930s, before the outbreak of World War II, the village witnessed several sightings of this phantom hound. The first was told by a farmer returning home one evening. Driving along, he came face to face with a large white dog standing in the middle of the road. He was traveling too fast to stop or swerve, so as to not hit the creature was hard, and he would have if it hadn't simply passed through the car. It seemed to have scared him senseless, as his reaction to this was to stop the car, get out, and run home.
Now, why the hell would you stop the car, get out, and run home?
I don't know.
I mean, I was good with you reading that right to that point, and then it was like, okay, well, that just don't make goddamn sense.
Right?
I understand you're scared because the dog you just went right through the dog.
Right.
So let me stop the car, get out, and run. When the car can go a hell of a lot faster than I can run. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Just making sure I was catching that right.
It was seen by several other people, often jumping out into oncoming traffic. Another story tells of a cyclist who, like the farmer, abandoned his vehicle in favor of running home. Why? That's so weird. It does seem that this phantom was an isolated occurrence. There is no stories of it from other times. Some people think that it could be a local dog, but others believe it was important to the huge loss of life of the world was about to experience from the World War II. So they think it was like a harbinger. So you may have noticed that I haven't included a sighting from Essex. I couldn't tell you that the story of the midwife who in the 1930s was followed home by a giant black dog. It's easily kept pace with her as she cycled home before vanishing as quickly and silently as it appeared. But that's all as I would be able to tell you. Sightings of the black shuck have been so common throughout history. There are literally hundreds of stories, but unfortunately many consist of, I was traveling home and saw a huge black dog. He turned and ran through a wall, or he disappeared before my eyes, or he followed me home and then vanished. And I think that it was one of those things that I find most intriguing. There are so many sightings, many of them so simple, which makes me think that people genuinely believe that these had happened. These stories have happened. Because surely if you were going to make something up, you'd make it a bit more graphic or detailed or interesting. Something else that struck me during my research is we call these dogs demons. But if the stories are true, these are spirits of dogs so loyal that they search beyond death for their masters and that they try and warn us of impending death. So I guess it depends on how much you like dogs and how much you like ghosts.
And how much you want to live.
Right? Right, yeah. Apparently, I mean, in 2014, in the ruins of Leicester Abbey near Bungay, the skeletal remains of 7-foot tall dog was found. Buried in a shallow grave, they were able to date the remains by the pottery that was found around the body, and it was speculated by the locals that this...
Chocolate mooncake time!
Aren't they, Nubs? I mean, it's crazy. They were able to date the remains by the pottery that was found around the body, and it was speculated by the locals that this could have been the hound that terrorized the church on that Sunday morning in 1577. But even reports of this were twisted for dramatic effect. Some wording insisted that the dog was 7 feet tall, implying a shoulder height of around 5 foot. And that would be truly terrifying. But others listed the info as a 7 foot long, which for a large dog, including tail, would be in the realms of possibility. So if a story can be twisted like this in a
Double points!
God bless America. So if
Nub says not this Saturday, but next Saturday he's going to be doing a thing on Dogman, and he'd love to have you up on panel.
Oh, I would, yeah, definitely. I'm not...
I have to stop you because otherwise, because Chad's going kind of quick.
Right. Yeah, definitely, Nubs. So if a story can be twisted like this in a few weeks, how much of the story can be twisted in 500 years? And that's what's hard about lore, you know? The story of Bungay and Blytheburg are some of the most documented, but we really have only relevant reference for it, the words of Abraham Fleming. But even with the people using this one resource, details have been added and tweaked. And one thing that I found when I was researching is that no one could agree which church was visited first or how many people actually died. We only know what happened.
Nubs, you did say Mothman, not Dogman.
You said Dogman.
Wow.
Because I almost made the comment of I'm not a big Dogman person.
Well, I knew what he meant.
Yeah, Mothman. I love Mothman. I've done a lot of research on Mothman.
See, she rubs off on me. I can't friggin' read either.
So there's the bones of the 7-foot dog, but they don't know if it doesn't state whether it was 7 foot like tall or the length. Either way, it's big freaking dog.
Well, my guess is going to be the length. If they said it only stood shoulder high to a man, then the average is only about 5 foot.
Either way, I don't give a fuck. That's a big dog.
Nub says I can't read. I got 7 fingers. But yeah, I'm guessing they're talking about the length of it.
So, Andy, have you grown up like hearing stories since it's around your neck of the woods? Have you grown up, or anybody in Europe there that's over there that's in chat, have you heard of these stories by any chance? It'd be really interesting. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. Even written history or stories do over time get tweaked.
Yeah, because Pluto's not a planet anymore.
Exactly.
What was it? It was a planet. Now it's not a planet. It's a dwarf star. Now it's a planet again.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know.
Exactly. It will always be a planet in my book. So yeah.
Can't be, because they rewrote that motherfucker.
Well, I've rewrote that many a times, but that's between. Nope, not a word of it, Missy, although there has been a story in the local rag of a large black cat. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of that. There's been a lot of black cat sightings everywhere. Didn't have it with the heart to tell them it was me poaching rabbits at night. Andy turns into...
Don't forget the dog Pluto.
Yes. It's also dog. We're now living on Mars.
Larina and Slim Cat. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Well, of course, I haven't been in chats in a while either. How you doing? I've heard of stories like that out here near the bays near St. John's or Capitol from 1700s to 1800s. Really, Patrick? That's really interesting.
Damn, I'm fucking cold.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you said you were feeling sick. I tried living on Mars, but between all the sugars and chocolate, I was buzzing my bits off for weeks. I'm telling you, Ryan, he's a cut up, I tell you. And he's something else.
And I'm glad I have him as a co-host of my show.
Exactly. All right, on to the next. Let's talk about the Bridgewater Triangle, aliens, puckwudgie. Let's see what we get to. Let's see,
Fuzzy
was a bear. Fuzzy wasn't fuzzy anymore, was he?
So was he still a bear?
No, he's a chupacabra.
Oh. But I thought they had hair.
No, they have. Well, it depends on what
Chupacabra
you're looking at. There's two different kinds of
so you
chupacabra.
can't say he was a chupacabra.
Well, the alien one, no, but the dog one, maybe. All right. So nothing can be as isolating or confining as the woods.
Or confusing.
Or confusing, right?
Slow the fuck down, chat. Nub says he didn't know there's two different kinds of chupacabras.
You rock. What's that? I'm sorry.
Nub says he didn't know there was two different kinds.
Yes. There's the alien kind that has spikes, and then there's the dog kind that looks like a mangy dog.
God damn, Patrick. Patrick says we had a timber wolf, now wiped out, that stood 5 foot at the shoulder with stripes on its hind quarters.
Hey, Canadian witch, how are you, hon? Welcome.
Oh no, we got a witch in the house. Ah!
Yeah, I mean, timber wolves get huge.
Well, I know they can.
I would love to have a timber wolf as a pet. Can you imagine that?
No.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'll say no there, just like you want a divot box. No.
Thank you for smashing the like button. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I is the new we.
We appreciate it. I'm gonna have to have a button that says we.
Smack yourself.
Yeah. Oh. That's awesome, Patrick. I would love to have that as a pet. I'm telling you right now, I would. I mean,
you not want to be with me anymore? I mean, you want to throw 10 years away for a fucking timber wolf?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I gave the like button, the Macho Man Randy Savage elbow drop for it. All right, Ryan, thank you. Jim, my dad has
cool, Gillian.
full body wolf mount that my granddad got in the Yukon years ago. Wow, Jim, that's awesome. Well, thank you for hanging around and chilling with us, Gillian. I appreciate it.
Well, you think about it, when we went to the Anchorage airport, look at the size of that gray wolf that they have. And I'm sure it's not the actual.
I don't know.
It might be.
I don't know, because they had all those animals there.
That's true.
That was crazy.
And that gray wolf is huge.
Yeah. They had everything there. They had like in the hotel lobby.
No, I'm talking at the airport.
Oh. At Anchorage Airport?
Yeah.
All I can remember is the cutout.
Well, yeah, even that hotel we went to. Holy Christ, that big old grizzly bear.
Yeah.
You turn
and
the
it
corner.
Was on a conscious.
Yeah, when you turn the corner and you look at this thing, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Gillian's looking better than me.
Aw, thank you, Gillian. We love you too,
hon.
We love all you guys, man.
Not
you guys...
Anchor Age. Anchorage.
Anchorage. He also got a moose, a caribou, grizzly, and wolverine. That would be cool to see. I mean, I know they're small and everything, but oh no.
We're going to lose power, guys. Lights just blinked out. But it's weird because nothing else blinked out.
Yeah. Are we still on the air, guys?
No, it's not spelled that way, Andy.
That was weird. But the TV's still on. Go check, see if the microwave has.
I think it was just this light. Because it didn't look like out of the corner of my eye like anything else went dark. Hey.
It was not. It's just that one. That bulb might be blowing.
Yep. Bulb's getting ready to go out.
Hey, Irish Whiskey, how are you?
I just found my new friend.
Andy, was nice with Missy having a PC again.
No, I think the light in the room is fixing to go.
Shadow's been covered up by a shadow.
Hurry back, Patrick.
Hurry back, Patrick. But yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I'll make sure there ain't no Russian tanks outside.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk out there with my beer. Yeah, that way I can look at them and say, hold my beer.
I swear to God, this shit does not happen. Well, it happens at night if we watch some alien bullshit. But stuff happens with you guys around. So you guys are the cause of weird shit that goes on here. Yeah, just saying.
Yeah, because like I said, I didn't think I caught the lights flicker out there.
Well, nothing else went off.
And even the heater stayed on.
Yeah. They might drink all your beer. No, they just want vodka.
No, if they try to drink all my goddamn beer, they will lose.
I blame the lack of fingers. Nubs. Eddie, grab Missy and head for the hills. The Canadians are invading Alaska. Patrick?
The Canadians got a lot of land to cover before they can get here.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, moving on to the Bridgewater Triangle. I think that's what, yes. Nothing can be as isolating or confining as the woods. They seem to cut us off from the rest of the world, leaving us alone, balanced on the edge of being lost. Even in these fairly modern times, the woods seem to exist as a reminder that there's so much of the world outside of our control.
Hi, Lady Blind Wolf.
Hey, Lady Blind Wolf, welcome on.
I agree with Irish whiskey, period. That's it. I told you, my new best friend right there.
Even in this fairly modern times, the woods seem to exist as a reminder that there's so much outside of the world that we out of our control. Sure, we can stay on the path, but those narrow routes between the trees only give us the illusion of control, like a trail of breadcrumbs. They're fragile and fleeting, and somewhere in the back of our minds, we understand that if we were to leave the trail, we would be stepping into the unknown. The woods hide things from us. For centuries, criminals have used the dark cloak of the forest to conceal everything from bootlegging and poaching to drug use and murder. They hide wildlife from us and instill just enough doubt and mystery that we end up believing anything that could be living out there. Anything. Some areas, though, are darker than others. In some places, the woods are more than just a gathering of trees and undergrowth. There are locations in the world that are constantly avoided, plagued by rumor and dense with fear. To step in one of those places, to abandon all the safety, all the reason, and all the hope. Between the three Massachusetts towns of Abington, Runabout, and Freetown exists a triangle slice of land that has become home to hundreds of reports of unexplained phenomenon. It's known as the Bridgewater Triangle. And we've talked about this a little bit in one of the stories.
Very little, though.
Yeah, very little. Though some call it the Black Triangle or the Devil's Triangle. It might not be swallowing up fighter jets or colonial era ships like the Bermuda Triangle to the south, but its history is just as storied and mysterious. Excuse me.
This story ain't in Alaska, is it?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. Nubs was asking.
No, this is in Massachusetts, Nubs. Yeah, we're not talking about the Alaskan Triangle, although there is one here and we live in it.
We actually live inside of it.
One of the areas within the triangle is the Holcomb Swamp. It's a 17,000 acre wetland near Bridgewater, Massachusetts.
Ryan's been there.
To the Bridgewater Triangle?
Yep. He says, I've been to the Bridgewater Triangle. I used to live in Massachusetts.
What part? I used to live in Massachusetts too. That could be Lady Blind Wolf. It could be Massachusetts witches getting their revenge. It definitely could.
Welcome back, Patrick.
Welcome back, Patrick.
Yeah, Nubs, the triangle that you heard of the Alaskan Triangle, we actually live within the perimeters of that triangle.
Yep.
Hey,
Amanda.
how you doing?
Aw, you're awesome. She said, sorry I'm late. I forced myself out of bed to try and not miss my favorite. Feel it in your soul, peoples. Aw, Amanda, that's so sweet. I love you. Worcester? Sturbridge and Webster. Okay, grew up in Southbridge. Okay. I've heard of Worcester. Just because one of my friends lives there.
Hey, Doug Paulson. Welcome.
Hey, Doug, how are you?
Salem was not the only town in Massachusetts to have witch trials.
That's right. That's right. I lived in Medway. I started out in Framingham, then moved down to Medway. So in the 1600s, it was inhabited by the Whooping, and I know I got that wrong, tribe of Native Americans. And the fort they built inside, it became a strategic location for them during King Philip's War of 1674. One of the legends tells how during these times of upheaval and invasion by the colonies, a powerful architect was lost in the swamp. Now, I can't find anything beyond a small Wikipedia entry to confirm this, but the story tells of how an object known as the Wampum Belt was lost during the war.
Well, Doug, we're happy to have you here.
Yes, definitely. Definitely glad to have you here. I hope you enjoy. As a result, the swamp became home to restless spirits. Ever since the swamp that has been a source of nearly endless supply of unexplainable sightings. One of the most dramatic and best documented reports was made by a local police officer, Sergeant Thomas Downey. On a summer night in 1971, Downey was driving home towards the town of Easton, near a place known as a Bird Hill that sits in the edge of the swamp. As he approached the hill, he caught a sight of an enormous winged creature. Downey claimed it was over 6 feet tall and the wingspan of almost 12 feet. What's the matter? Oh,
Make
cold.
sure the thing's still on. I'm cold.
Okay. After reporting the sighting to the Easton police, he quickly earned the nickname the Birdman. You know, and I've stated this before, when it comes to cops and their reputation, I really, you know, it could be Doug Mothman. I don't think cops, you know, would stake their reputation to report on something false.
Well, that comes, if you want to look at it that way too, then look at the movie Gnome.
Right.
Where that sheriff sat outside and said, I'm watching this happen.
Right.
And the cop ended up getting fired because they thought he lost his friggin' mind.
Right, exactly.
But he's like, when he quote, I watched the kid go through the roof.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, look, my Google kicked on.
Oh, did it see?
Mm-hmm.
MIB. I'm telling you, they're listening. So Officer Downey, I really believe clearly saw something that night. I mean, it's open to debate, of course, as always, but...
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Decades earlier, in 1939, the Civilian Conservation Corps were working on the edge of the swamp near King Philip Street. While there, workers claimed to have seen a huge snake as large... I wonder if there was any... when I think of abnormal stuff, like large snake and everything, was there any radiation leakage somewhere?
The largest snake I can think of is an anaconda.
Right. They said that they seen a huge snake as large, round, as black, and as black as a stovepipe.
Yeah, no, Andy, I'm not a damn secret mod for Google. And it's not on my computer, but it keeps popping up on my phone.
According to the report, the snake coiled for a moment, raised its head, and then vanished into the swamp. What wooded area would be complete without a Bigfoot sighting, right? Although a tall, hairy creature has been sighted dozen of times over the years in various parts of Bridgewater Triangle, the most common experiences have been near the swamp. In 1983, John Baker, a local fur trapper, had a similar experience.
Doug spitting right in. It was really a crackhead on basalts with eBay bat wings. That's with the cops. Oh.
There you go. He was on his canoe in the swamp when he heard a splash. He turned to see, and I quote, a hairy beast slog into the river and passed within a few yards of his boat.
Amanda's having problems. She wants to know if you can disable stickers on DLive, which is I don't think you can. Otherwise, she's going to have to go back to YouTube to enjoy the show because the stickers can throw her into a seizure.
Right. As of right now, I can't open up anything, unfortunately.
And the part, and I'm not trying to sound rude or ignorant, but that would be unfair to everybody else on DLive.
Right, and half of the stickers aren't working anyway, as far as I know.
Right now, the only shiny one I've seen is Much Love.
Right. That could be an elemental. Definitely.
Well, Andy says, why does everyone always assume radiation mutates things into something bigger? A bigger version requires a greater amount of nutrition, yet radiation seems to kill just about everything off.
Right. I totally get that, Andy. It just seems like some of these just
Just so everybody knows, Amanda is just asking because the bright flashes of light can cause her to go into a seizure. And I understand what she's going through.
Definitely. But unfortunately, with everything open, I'm afraid to open anything because I'll crash, if that makes sense. I just think, I think of Skinwalker Ranch and like the nuclear bomb that was let off. Or not the nuke, but I can't think what it's called. But anyway, and everything getting mutated and stuff. That's true, Doug. You are right. But the wolves and other animals seem to be doing good in Turnbull. Yes, I did see that, because they're constantly studying Turnbull and the animals there. But I did know what you mean. Yes. Yeah. Me too, Nubs. Skinwalker Ranch is my number one place that I want to go to visit.
Freaky Geek said he watched a part of a new show called Blind Frog Ranch, and Skinwalker Ranch was mentioned in it.
I see that. I've seen that. I haven't seen the program, but I've seen that, and I was like, I don't know if that's like what I'm into. I didn't know if it was like a Skinwalker Ranch type of thing.
Wasn't there a bunch of photos, black and white ones, from some hunters or something in Texas where they had shot some kind of
pterodactyl? Could be
on some documentary. I have heard of something with a great wingspan that got shot, but they never clarified what it was.
Right. Well, I know there's a lot of pterodactyl sightings in Texas. Do you know what I'm saying? I know that's one of the hot spots for them, at least for what I've heard and read. I believe Pennsylvania is another one as well, where there's a hot spot for pterodactyl. So, I don't know.
I've never heard of anything out of Pennsylvania, but...
Yeah. I've heard that many people that go there for a reasonable amount of time leave with attachments. I'm not too worried about it. I don't worry about it. I really don't.
She would have to worry because her ass wouldn't come back here.
That's not nice.
But wow, neither is bringing home an attachment.
And you wonder why I want to replace you with a timber wolf. He won't bitch.
Then go to your Skinwalker Ranch. And then when you come back, you get your own place with a timber wolf and your attachment.
All right. Works for me. Dropped it. Was reported to a local constable who thought it was a very large turkey.
Your podcast can't understand you mumbling.
Oh, sorry. It was.
So she's just not going to read it now.
No, I was seeing if there was a first part of that. It was reported to local constable who thought it was a very large type of turkey vulture, not known with a wingspan of that, basically that big, over 40 feet. Yeah, that's creepy.
That would be a big turkey vulture.
Doug lives in upstate New York. Well, we're from there. Well, I am.
Oh, great, Andy. Thanks.
I live in upstate New York, where we've had UFO sightings to me in Utica, New York, and Bigfoot sighting as well. Yeah. If you look up Warsaw, New York, they had a sighting there in like the 40s.
Eddie, have you told me yet that you have adopted a sea lion as a pet?
That's not even funny, Andy. That's not even kosher. It's not nice. Stop being on his side, Andy. How the Hulk and Bluebird work together. Joke is my man calls me Bluebird and everyone else calls him Hawk. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Turkey vultures are like UFOs being swamp gas.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't think that. Yeah, turkey
I thought they
vulture.
were
I
weather
mean,
balloons.
turkey vultures are big, but Jesus.
No, actually, Jim, roadrunners are actually real birds.
Yeah, you saw them in Texas.
No, I mean, I'm serious. They are actually birds.
Right. That's what he said, though, until I saw them in
I
Texas.
thought the way you said it, you was being sarcastic.
Well, that's okay. You want to talk about being stupid. I didn't know reindeer and caribou were the same thing. I didn't know that reindeer were tame and caribou was wild. Took me what? I've lived here almost 5 years now. It took me 4 years to learn that. I learned that. Yes, Andy, maybe perhaps it was a migrating winged platypus. Could be. The biggest bird I've seen in Newfoundland was 2 eagles. Hey, hobgoblins, I believe, are real.
Well, Nubs didn't know that reindeer and caribou are the same either.
See? Not only is my show cool, or our show cool, you learn something. We're educational, too. See? I thought they were a breed of moose. No, moose are entirely different.
Yeah, moose and caribou are two totally different.
A baby moose is the size of a bigger calf.
Cow.
Well, yeah, a smaller cow. A baby one. We got a beer here called Hobgoblin.
Andy, you don't want to take that bet, do you?
Listen, what was the ones that you drank over?
Hurricanes?
Yeah, hurricanes.
Yeah, pretty close, Doug. It definitely will damage your vehicle. Yes, the baby one's actually called a calf.
Yes, Freaky Geek, thank you. See, even our viewers are educational as well.
The moose here can get so big, it can stop an 18-wheeler.
Yes.
And just totally F it up.
Andy, that was my thought. Maybe it was the result of Pegasus having a wicked way with a moose. You know, if moose, that would be the size of, that would be a big Pegasus. They just lost their wings.
Now, I'm not saying hurricanes had a really good taste to them, but as cheap as they were and almost 6% alcohol.
I also learned that armadillos can ruin your tires.
Well, they can be called edible, Andy. I mean, but
I'm sure they can, Jim. I'm not a farmer, but I know a few animals.
And he says, I thought baby moose were called edible.
Hurry back, Nicole.
Hurry back, Nicole.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't think up here in Alaska that we'd have a big freaking big ass porcupine.
Oh, this freaking thing is huge.
But we do. I almost shit when my boss said, you know, the only wild thing that because I used to joke with everybody. I said, I think they're lying to me about moose and mountain goats because I haven't. There was a third one too.
No, it's just them two.
Was it them two? Because I never see moose or mountain lions.
Goats.
Or mountain lions. Mountain goats. Oh my God. It's already starting. Well, yeah, it's 11:05. Okay. Makes sense. No, but it blew my mind, like, because I would never, like...
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow, Meme Man. 1984? Meme Man?
Meme.
I know. I don't know why I said that the way I did. But, so, like, the natives around here, right? They'll sit there and say, oh, yeah, look at the mountain goats. And I'm, like, looking like, where are you looking? I said, everybody's lying to me about moose and mountain goats because I don't see them. I don't. And finally, when we went to Wasilla,
yep,
we went out moose not hunting.
Well, no, we just kind of went out for a drive.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was like, look, right there. They standing right next to the road, getting ready to cross the road, and the head's like bigger than the fucking window.
No problem. It's all right.
What's the wrong sticker?
It's the frog spitting.
Oh, that's
Okay,
that's
Doug.
funny.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Doug.
You have a wonderful day or rest of your night. Well, it's, you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Doug, thanks for stopping through. Thanks for having the conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
All
right.
right. That's pretty cool, the frog spitting.
See? It's all good. All right, so let me find out where I am.
You do the same, Doug. Hope to see you again.
Yeah, hope to see you again. Take care and be safe out there. So he was on his canoe in the swamp when he heard a splash, turned around, and a hairy beast slogged into the river and passed within a few yards of his boat. In 1978, a local man, John DeAndra, was standing in the shore of the pond known as Clay Banks.
Welcome back, Nicole.
Welcome back, Nicole. He claimed that he turned and saw what described as a creature that was all brown and hairy like an apish man thing. Oddly enough, I know a guy that looks like that. That would be Andy. No, I'm joking.
Andy, that's not nice. That one wasn't nice.
Oh my God. But there's more than just one weird animal sighting in the swamp. As far back as the late 19th century, locals have reported seeing unusual lights. One report was made by two undertakers who were traveling past the swamp on Halloween night in 1908. They claimed to have seen a light that hovered in the sky for almost an hour. Whether the reports of the creatures and lights are true or not, it might be worth mentioning that the Winnipeg word Hockomock literally means the place where spirits dwell. Another hot spot in the southeastern corner of the triangle.
Another hot
spot, you would, is the Freetown State Forest. If all of the stories are to believe, it's the quintessential haunted forest. Deep inside the park is a cliff known as Asante Lodge. I probably said that wrong, but overlooks an old quarry. There have been reports of hauntings near the ledge of visions and ghostly figures. Some stories tell of how a woman in white lingers near the edge. Others claim to have heard voices while visiting there.
Fucking Andy.
The most common report of the mysterious lights. Some researchers think they know exactly what those lights come from. They're the tools of the creature known as the puckwudgie. In ancient Walmapong folklore, the puckwudgie is a small forest-dwelling creature, something like a troll or a goblin that lives in the wooded area around the swamp.
Everybody ducks.
Yes. Aside from having one of the most entertaining names to say out loud, they are said to be small, hairy people, roughly 3 feet tall, who hide in the woods and cause trouble to people who discover them. What kind of trouble? Well, the folklore tells how the puckwudgies use lights to lure travelers into the woods. Is that the Brown Mountain Lights? I'm watching it, Patrick. Yes, we've watched it. Definitely. The Alaskan Triangle. So yeah, they would lure travelers into the woods where they would kill them. These lights, according to legend, are known as tepehuancas, the North American version of the English will-o-wisp, sometimes referred to ghost lights. The puckwudgies use the lights as bait, luring people to their death. Rather than attacking hikers outright, apparently these creatures prefer to let the land itself kill their victims. Coincidentally, one of the most common experiences reported by visitors to the ledge is an overwhelming urge to jump. That's not good. Normal, healthy people have felt nearly suicidal standing atop the ledge. Many of them claim approaching the edge of the cliff, they felt an uncontrollable desire to jump up into the dark, rocky water over 100 feet below. I will not be going near that clip anytime soon.
Nope.
Thank you for the ice cream, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you so much.
Lemon Fever Ledge.
Is that another ledge that you know of, Andy? Yes, Jim. Mine too. What, this one? The story I just said, Nubs? That is in Massachusetts as well. It's near the Freetown State Forest.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick, for the lemons.
Freaky said it reminds him of bridge dogs jump from for no apparent reason.
Oh.
That was a new name for the ledge you mentioned, Missy.
Oh, okay.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Probably. These ones are all in the Alaskan not the Alaskan Triangle, the Bridgewater Triangle in Massachusetts. One story in particular bears retelling.
Is that, or are these stories made of, is the triangle there made up of 3 bridges?
I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
Because you just said it's, the Bridgewater
Triangle.
So is this bridges over water that make this triangle?
No, I don't believe that, but I believe that it's because, hold on, I think I said it. Between the 3 Massachusetts town of Abington, Rinnebuth, and Freetown exists a triangle slice of land that has become home to hundreds of reported blah, blah, blah. It's known as the Bridgewater Triangle.
Y'all understood the blah, 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 blah part.
No, it doesn't say.
Okay. No, Andy, I would never insinuate that you're sarcastic to anybody, especially little old Missy.
Bill Russo was a welder from Raham. I don't know if that's the Rainham. I'm thinking that might be Framingham, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Hello, Blue. How are you?
Blue done snuck in here? Where's Blue?
D-Live. Well, she just received a 1-month subscription from Mr. Mingster. That's right, Amanda, but the blah, blah, blah part is where the lesson is. Duh. She gets me.
She's a woman.
And Andy.
Oops. Wow.
You guys are something else.
How you doing, Blue?
Okay, so he worked long hours, and for the 6 years prior to his retirement, he worked the late shift from 3 p.m. until midnight. By the time he got home from work each night, Bill's dog, Samantha, was in a desperate need of a walk.
Did he get an hour lunch?
I don't know.
Well, because he's working a 9-hour shift, I was just wondering.
I know, you're so particular on people having their lunch breaks. So before bed, Bill would take her out and let her get some exercise. They kept up this habit each and every night, no matter the season of. On the night of one night in 1995, Bill took Samantha out for the usual walk. Their typical route was to stay on the sidewalks and head towards the center of town. But on this night, they made a change. Bill decided on a whim to cut through his own backyard and head along a trail through the woods that ran alongside the swamp. Not a choice I'd made, but mind you, well, no, I probably would have. Even with a German Shepherd and a Rottweiler mix, as this guy's companion, he's like, I wouldn't do it. About a half a mile into their walk, at the place where the path was crossed by the road, Samantha began acting odd. She was tugging on the leash and trembling, and kept glancing back at Bill with worried eyes. Thank you, Rain, for the ice cream.
Thank you, Rain.
Bill pulled the leash to lead her home, but the dog wouldn't budge. She just whined and quivered where she stood. After a moment, Bill began to hear the sound that had frightened his dog. It was a thin, high-pitched voice, faint at first, but growing louder as it continued. And even though Bill couldn't understand what the voice was saying, it kept repeating the same sounds. Iwan-chu. It seemed to say Iwan-chu. It was midnight in the woods, and so, of course, Bill couldn't see anything, but he tried. He scanned the trees and bush for whatever was making those sounds. There was even a streetlight nearby, casting a small circle of pale light on the pavement, but he didn't see anything. And then suddenly, something stepped into the light. According to Bill, it was perhaps 4 feet tall, covered in hair, walked on 2 legs like a human, and looked to weigh no more than 100 pounds. It was naked and pot-bellied, and it looked nothing like Bill had ever seen. As it stepped out of the trees into the light, it continued to speak to him. Iwan-chu, it said. Kier, kier. Bill and Samantha stood frozen to the ground, paralyzed with fear. And the dog continued to whine and shiver. The creature lifted its arm and beckoned them to follow. Iwan-chu, it said, again mentioning them.
Oh, what the fart?
Right? Mentioning to them Kier. Bill claimed that he tried to ask the creature a few questions, but it only replied with the same nonsense as it already said. Not knowing what else to do, Bill managed to tug Samantha after him, and they both turned and headed home. They didn't look back. Patrick, my ex-wife's sister. Jeez. It's not the trees that make woods a frightening place. It's what the trees conceal. There's no telling what creature hides behind the green leaves and thick branches of the forest landscape. Cryptozoologists, ghost hunters, and believers in the supernatural are often seen as abnormal. Because we are, right? They believe in things that can't possibly be real. But when we step into the woods, we surround ourselves with a dark embrace of the unknown. Something the impossible begins to seem more likely. Maybe we want to believe. Maybe that's feeling in our pit of our stomachs when we step into a strange wooded area for the cry for answers. Is there something more out there? Right? Maybe that's all we want to know, but we're simply too afraid of the answers. I'm not. I want to know. I'm not. I want to know this stuff exists. In my mind, they do. Not everything, but you know. Bill Rosso experienced the same fear on that night in 1995. He and Samantha managed to find their way home, but was beyond shaken up. Even though it was 1 o'clock in the morning, he went to the kitchen and brewed himself a pot of coffee. There was no way he was going to let him sleep that night. Cup after cup, hour after hour, Bill relived the experience over and over again, playing back everything he heard and saw. He experienced doubt, fear, and regret. And that's what happens when you see something, right? You sit there and did that really happen? Did I really just see that? You know. He wondered if maybe he should have tried harder to speak with the creature. Perhaps he should have approached it. If Samantha would have allowed him to, that is. But the question that plagued him for most of the night was more difficult. What was the creature saying to him? Bill wrestled with his memory of those sounds that night. Iwan-chu, it said, and then Kier. Before sunrise, Bill was almost positive he had the answer. It wasn't another language the creature was speaking after all. It'd been trying to use its best English. And the word it kept repeating, we want you. It's been saying, and then come here. Yeah, you play it over and over in your head. Definitely. Thank you, Nicole. Iwan-chu, Kier. And honestly, if you think about it, it does definitely sound like that's what it could have been, right? You want to hear, but it's just sounding out. It's just sounding out what it would normally say or what you would normally say. It doesn't know, so it's just trying to reproduce that sound. Or those weird words. Could be in a newfound language called Newfoundlandese. Could be. You never know. You never know. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see something like that. Now, with the lights, it makes me think, because Bigfoot is seen many times with lights around him, right? So that's what makes me think that he's an earth elemental when it comes to Bigfoot, because other, either fairies are around or something with these sightings with lights around him. To me, it's just another elemental around him. Could be. I don't know. But yeah, those are definitely cool. I've never really studied the Bridgewater Triangle. We've talked about it in the past a little bit. But I've never really, even though I lived there, I've never, it's like here. I mean, I watched the show Alaskan Triangles. We're here, in the triangle, but I never really studied it. I mean, I don't know. See, I think a lot of it with the Alaskan Triangle, to me, I mean, some weird shit has happened, definitely. And I'll eventually have to do a show about it. I will definitely do that. But, I think a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of people that go missing, but there's also, to me, there is also a lot of elements out here that can make a person go missing if you're not used to it out here. Does that make sense?
Nature itself will make you miss.
What's that?
Nature itself can make you come up missing.
Right, exactly. I mean,
so much land has been never even touched by human foot. The snow pockets and everything that people are so unaware of.
Right. Even regular locals
can still end up missing.
Right.
Why are they triangles? Because of the shape of the geographical locations of where everything seems to happen within certain points.
I don't think he's asking that. He gets the triangle, but why is it always in the shape of a triangle? Like, it doesn't have something to do with the pyramids. And it could very well be. Something about the Merkaba, I mean, for a long while, I was looking at triangles around the world, and I'm wondering if there's somehow, like, it's a big, in the middle of the earth is a big Merkaba. Or Merkaba. No, I said that. Okay. Never mind. So, I mean, believe me, and like the pyramids or the triangles are the points sticking out. If that makes sense.
Could very well be. Like, or the Bermuda Triangle, the Alaska Triangle, the Bridgewater Triangle is all centered around a triangle.
Right. Now, if you look, we've talked about that before, too. The Devil's Triangles. There's a lot of them around the world. I agree with Andy. Has anybody ever found a mysterious square out there? Actually, I think they have. But I think it's just more triangular shapes than, I don't know. So let's talk about Transylvania. I'd like to know how we head north. They tell you they have none of it.
There you go, mumbling again.
Sorry, Patrick, I'd like to know if we head north. They tell you they have none of it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mumble again.
Well, you mumbled again, so it don't matter.
It don't matter, you know. It's okay. She wasn't talking to me. She was talking to Patrick.
People on the podcast can't see that.
I know, but I'm just saying. There's a place here in Colorado in the mountains where you can tell no one has been there for years. Really, Jim? Yeah, I'm sure there's, you know, a lot of places in those mountains, definitely. There's a lot of vast land out here that hasn't been touched. Oh, it's a Canadian joke. See, I wouldn't have gotten it, even though I lived near Canada for growing up.
There's probably more land in the state of Alaska that has never been explored by a human that can probably cover half the United States all together.
Right. Not only that, I mean, when it comes to the Alaskan Triangle, too, about planes going down, I mean, we have some wicked-ass winds that turn on a dime. I mean, there's nothing in the winter and in the summer. We get the many, you know, like obviously in the summertime, it's the dust spinners.
Dust devils.
Yeah, dust devils. And we get them in winter, too. So it's like, I mean.
Well, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
There was a dust devil that as tall as the trees.
It was crazy.
It was actually forming into a tornado, and Alex went out there and had to step into it.
Yeah.
And then it jumped over 10 feet and started again.
Yep. Yeah. And like he could feel the spinning. Like he said, the air inside was cold. You know, and you could see there was 2 layers of it. One spinning this way and one spinning the opposite way. So, I mean, we have a lot of wicked weather up here, no doubt.
It'd be a nice calm day, and in a blink of an eye, you'll have 90-mile-an-hour winds.
Mm-hmm. All right, so UFOs and the mysterious happenings in Transylvania. Is it a portal to another dimension? Apparently, extraterrestrials have carefully observed humans and their actions, no matter the time or place. They observe us. They found us a very long time ago. God bless America, Nicole.
Sometimes look at Jack. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, well, they found us a very long time ago, but do not want to make contact. Ask yourself, why? Perhaps it's because we're not enough civilized? Transylvania, one of the most mysterious landscapes of Europe. That's another place I want to go. Europe is such a place. This particular region.
Hold up. I don't even want to talk to Amanda right now.
Yeah, that's just rude.
Mom dropped off McDonald's.
We're just joking, by the way.
Yeah, we haven't had McDonald's probably in
3
a
years?
year. No. We used to get McDonald's or Burger King, but it's been about 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years.
God damn it.
Okay. Yeah, Romania and all that. Oh, God, yes, I want to go there. Transylvania is one of the most mysterious landscapes of Europe. The particular region of Romania has been a UFO hotspot for centuries. Isn't that crazy? Like, I love Romania. I love everybody talking about Romania, and I never knew that. I never knew that until I read this article. Jim, you guys are swearing in my chat. Andy, that's not very nice.
I used to sit down and eat 4 double-quarter pounders.
Yes, Nicole. So many myths in Transylvania. Definitely. It is, Rain. It's very interesting to learn about. But I never knew that it was a hotspot for UFOs. Paranormal? Yes. You know what I mean? But not UFOs. Most of us perceive Transylvania as a mountainous, mist-shrouded place surrounded by mystic and closely related to Dracula, the most infamous vampire in the world.
Well, that's what Transylvania is known for.
Exactly, yeah. But Transylvania is much more than Dracula's Never Never Land. Hidden deep in the Carpathian Mountains, a region located in the present-day central Romania. Who knows what is lurking in inaccessible ravines shadowed by high mountains the high mountain peaks of the southeastern
Hi,
Carpathians.
Danny Serbu.
Hello, Danny. How are you?
Yeah, we do know.
We
We know Romania exists.
Oh,